Welcome again, everyone, to the Ivey Chronicles. And today we have a very special guest, Minister Godbee. She's going to tell you about herself, and we just want to talk about life and the experience of a young minister. I'm an older minister. I'm in the third quarter, as my brother would say. So we're going to be tapping into that because we've got to figure out how to get to our young people. So we'll be right back in just a moment. Once again, we are back with our very special guest, Minister Godbee.
Hello.
And we're going to, I believe she told me her name was Alaina
Yes.
Godbee. So I have a tendency to mess up people's names, but Godbee, I can remember.
Yes.
Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Alaina Godbee. I guess title-wise, I'm officially Minister Alaina Godbee.
Okay.
I'm 22. I am a college student at Augusta University studying psychology. I have an associate's degree in psychology from Georgia Military College, and so I'm finishing my bachelor's now, and I do plan to pursue and go to seminary after I finish my bachelor's. About me, I love music. I love to sing. That was my first kind of gift and just thing that I really, really liked. And really kind of what drew me into the church, really, when I recognized my gift. So I'm a singer, I'm a worship leader, I love music, anything creative, art. I'm the daughter of Reverend L.S.A. Godbee Jr. and Laquita Godbee. I'm a sister to Yana, Morgan, and Joshua. I'm the baby girl of the family. So
Wow.
Yana
Okay.
is the oldest, and then there's Morgan, and then there's me, and then there's Joshua. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
Okay. Okay. So life as a young minister, I was kind of older when I went into ministry. 22, where was I at? Probably out on the seas in the United States Navy. But back to Tess. So you're a member of what church?
Tabernacle Baptist Church.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Some people call it the tab.
Yes, the tab.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of the older people, they call it tabernacle.
Tabernacle.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you-
Call it tab, tabernacle, the tab. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a young minister, and how has it been? How's your experience been since you, first of all, when did you go into ministry?
So my dad is a pastor, so I've always been around and in church. That's really all I've known. So, oh Lord. But I've always been in and around church at the age of 19. So it was June of 2023. It's 2026 now. That's crazy. This is 3 years ago. Oh my gosh. So I was 19 years old. June of 2023 was when I began to experience the call, or I guess what people would say my call narrative. And, some things were happening, some divine and supernatural things that, you can't really explain. And then in July of 2023 was when I went to my dad and we went and had lunch, and I kind of shared with him some of the things that I was experiencing. And, he recognized it and affirmed it. And he told me, it was funny. He told me after the fact, he was like, I already knew. I was just waiting for when it would happen. He's like, I already knew. But, he never pressured me or put it on me or said, oh yeah, you're going to be a preacher, whatever, that whole thing. So I experienced that. And then I went through about essentially 2 years of mentorship, and then also had a full year of the ministers and training process at Tabernacle. And so December of last year, December of 2025, December 18th, 2025, I delivered my initial sermon, and I was licensed to the gospel ministry. So
All right.
yes. So I'm new, very very new. Not new to church, but I'm new to this area in my call. So yes.
Well, if you've been in church for a while, it's just a transition.
Yes, very much so a transition.
Just
Yes.
a transition. And the thing that really excites me when Brandon was telling me about you and said, we got this young minister I want you to talk to, because one of the big issues in the church is that, and I heard an older pastor say that if you don't hear babies crying in the sanctuary, the church is dying.
Wow.
And we need
Wow.
young people. So we need young people like you.
Yeah.
We need young people that recognize that God has given them a gift.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times young people, they ignore their gift. And what they fail to realize is that it's their gift that will propel them,
Oh yeah. The gift will
that
make
will
room.
will allow them to succeed. And as you said, your gift will make room, but your gift will not only get you in the room, but it will keep you in the room.
Yes, very much so.
Talent
Very
will
much
get
so.
you in the room, but it won't keep you in the room.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so.
So you're licensed, you're a minister.
Yes.
How's your because I know your pastor, he's always on the go.
Yes.
Always on the go.
Reverend Dr. Charles E. Goodman Jr.
So how do you all say, like, if a pastor say, hey, I want to invite you to come deliver a message on any given Sunday. How do you all do that? Because I had 4 ministers, and all of them, they all pastoring now. And one of the things in our training was you always let the pastor know where you go.
Always.
And
Always.
sometimes some pastors, they go ahead and tell them, go find some. That wasn't how I was trained.
Right.
I was trained that you're supposed to respect the leadership.
Yes.
And some people feel like, well, this is my call. I'm going to do what I want to
Right.
do. So what's your thoughts on that? Because sometimes
Yeah.
people will push you,
Yeah.
try to push you.
Pressure, for
Yeah.
sure. So before I even became a minister, like growing up as a pastor's kid and a preacher's kid, then turned pastor's kid, I had a interesting experience in just that in itself in being a child, because that's really all I've known. Like from the age of 4, my dad began pastoring. So I had a very keen eye and understanding of like order, kind of, and like how leadership and different things flow. And like serving and being a part of the first family of a church and that whole thing. So there are some things that I learned very early, just as far as respect and covering and that sort of thing, and the importance of the importance of being covered. So even before becoming a minister, I had an understanding of that. And even then, when I moved from not necessarily from being under my dad's covering, but in me growing and becoming a young adult, I began to venture and do my own things, or people began to, ask me to come and do worship leading at their church or different things. And so in using my gift in church and singing, I'd let the minister of music know, hey, this person asked me, I got an invitation from this church or this minister of music to come and do this, share this song, whatever, sing at this funeral, whatever. I let them know. And so now it just transitioned from there into ministry. So now it's always let your pastor know what you're doing, where you're going.
Right.
That's something that he made very he was very intentional about letting me know that, and me and also the other minister that I got licensed with, Miss Minister Pam Rice. Let your pastor know where you're going, because one, I think it's a respect and an honor thing, respecting the leadership, but then also you want to be covered,
Yeah.
because you never know, you never know what the situation or maybe what the dynamic may be, and also to it's respect, honor, coverage, spiritual covering, also to you never know what they may need you to do.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like, you got to it's like taking care of home first. So,
Yeah.
I got to tell my pastor, hey, pastor, such and such, such and such. He may say, hey, I may need you to do something for young adult ministry this day. I may need you to do, that sort of thing. We may
Right.
have something else going on at the church. It may be, that sort of thing. So yeah, it always respecting and honoring the position and the person, let alone from just him being the pastor, but also just him as an individual. Respecting that spiritual covering and that leadership, and him being the shepherd over the house at Tabernacle, and also you never know what my pastor or what we may need done at our church,
Right.
that that I may be used for, or he may want to do before going out and ministering to other people. It's not the issue of, oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's not like a either or, it's more of a both and.
Right.
So yeah, so I think it just comes down to respect, spiritual coverage, and always making sure that home is covered first. So yeah.
Now, you you said something that kind of triggered something in me when you mentioned about young people. How do the young people at Tabernacle, how do they receive you, or how do
Ooh,
they approach you?
oh my
Since
gosh.
you're now a licensed minister,
Yeah,
because it's just like when you become a licensed, if you're older and you become licensed, people treat you different.
that is very true. That is true. I have not noticed any difference. Like those are my babies. Like those are my kids. I love my smaller ones, my
Hmm.
younger ones, and now I'm the servant leader over the young adult ministry now. So
Okay.
even those people, and those are like more so my peers because we're like all kind of the same age, or like maybe we went to high school together, or we're at college at AU together, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
But I haven't seen really any difference in regards to like the younger kids. Like they still just think I'm Miss Alaina, or like big sister, because like so many of them, like I have babysat, or like they come and sit with me in service, or
Okay.
they I have to check them or correct them if they're not acting right with their parents, out of love, that sort of thing. So with my younger kids, not really. With my teenage kids, sometimes, because they like crack jokes or whatever, they'll be like, oh, here come the pastor, or like this stuff, that, or like here come the minister, or like you need to behave, she a minister or whatever, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And with the young adult ministry, like I said, these are more so of my peers, and the people that are our same age. So I think that is a difference as well, because yeah, I can't say they treat me any different, but I believe that they honor the position, or they honor my calling, while also not like, they don't treat me like I'm not Alaina. So it's like I'm still me. So
Okay.
yeah.
Now, I'm going to, because I experienced some stuff, and I do sometimes, as a minister of the gospel, I do some things on purpose. Like, I don't always identify myself
Right.
as a minister. I
Yes.
do it on purpose because I don't want people to be on edge. I just want them to be themselves. And they ask me,
Yeah.
so why didn't you tell me, that you're a preacher, you're a pastor? I said, we just having a conversation,
Conversation. Yeah.
because I've got a real good friend, Father Lewis Boulder. He's 97, 98 years old.
Wow.
And when I met him probably 20 years ago, he would always tell me, and the guy's brilliant. The guy is brilliant. He said, just call me Lewis. And I'm like, dude, I can't call you.
It's a reverence here. It's a title.
I can't
It's a
call
glory
you.
on you.
Because this guy speaks 6 or 7 languages fluent. And he
Wow.
still speaks them fluent. And he's
Wow.
just, guys, just every time I'm at awe when I get around him. That's just the respect that I have for
Yeah.
him. But he would always tell me, he said, we would go to lunch and he'd say, you're Melvin, I'm Lewis. You're not pastor, I'm not father.
Yeah.
We just friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude,
It's uncomfortable.
that'll never happen.
It's uncomfortable.
So
Yeah.
so how do and I know you've been in ministry a long time, but to be elevated, uh, how do you feel you're going to navigate those waters?
I, while I'm still very, very, very new, I'm in the Genesis part of my ministry, as my pastor has said and has told me. I'm in expectation for some things to change. And it's funny because, like, even then, and you asking me, I was thinking, like, well, dang, well, what has changed? I feel like things haven't changed, but maybe that's because me looking from, like, my stance out to other people, because I feel like I've remained the same and I'm still just Alaina at the end of the day. And like you said, there's an elevation or like an enhancement. But you made me think about how the outside in may be looking. So it's like other people may be looking at me differently, or having a different reverence or consideration of me with this elevation or enhancement. But back to what I was saying, I'm in expectation for some things to change, especially as a young adult and as a young woman. I expected, and also my mentors have told me, like, your life is going to change. Literally, my mentor, Reverend Joy Moore, she told me, I think it was like maybe I think it was like the day before my initial sermon. And so I'm just like, I'm preparing last minute. It was so much going on. And she was like, everything changes. Because I did my initial sermon on a Thursday. She was like, everything changes. Your life is going to change on Thursday. And it has, and it did. So I think Yeah, I'm an expectation for maybe some relationships or things to change, or for me to have experiences and opportunities for growth in that area. So I I can't say that I've experienced those things yet. Maybe I won't have super duper big experiences like that or big changes like that. Maybe it won't be a hard transition. Maybe it will be. But I think that if those things do happen, I'm in anticipation for them. It was kind of like when you were speaking about the father and covering that you were speaking of. I think it's hard for us, especially like in the Black church and in our tradition. It's like we are raised heavy on respect.
Yeah.
It's heavy on respect, and also that looks differently for different generations. So like I've even had a conversation with my dad where I asked him I said, what does respect mean to you? Respect to him may equal obedience. Like if I'm telling you to do something as your father, I feel like it's respectful if you do what I tell you to do, and that's obedience. To me, respect is consideration. It is, am I treating you right? Am I treating you well? So those things look differently. Like respect to you may be defined differently as respect to me. And sometimes it's just a generational and a cultural thing. But I think in general, in being African Americans and in the Black church, we're heavy on respect in whatever way that looks like. So yeah, it's hard for us to break out of that. It's hard for me not to call you pastor, or like for me to look at you like we just sitting here having lunch, having friends. And it's like, I mean, there's even a reverence that I have for you now as a pastor. I'm like, this is a pastor. Or like if you introduce yourself, I'm so and so, or like me introducing myself to somebody else, I'm so and so, with just your name. It's a hard thing to break out of that kind of cultural shell. That we're all grown up in, especially like I said, as African Americans. Like it's always yes ma'am, yes sir, no sir, no ma'am. It's hard to break out of that. But yeah.
So, especially in that particular realm, one of the things that I experienced, I come from a big family, and my brothers and sisters, they often, now when we are out with other people, they used to call me Rev or Pastor,
Yeah.
but if it's just us, we kicking it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm Melvin.
Right.
To them, some of the people I grew up with, I got some friends. They one of them particularly when he would come home from college, not college, but he was in the military. And he always called me Melly Mel when he was like small. I don't know where he got that from. One of the old rappers.
Yeah.
And he would call me that, and he would. So one time we was together, and he called me Melly Mel, and people looked at me.
Yeah.
But that's part of the transition.
It is.
You're going to have people that's going to they're going to readily acknowledge it. They're going to be people that's close to you. They will get to that place where they will acknowledge it when you're out and about. But when it's just you all,
Yeah.
Because you grew up together, like some of your friends, you say, or your peers that you grew up with.
Yeah.
They will have that degree of respect that when you're out amongst other people, they call you minister, but when you're all together, you're going to be Alaina,
I'm kicking it.
KK.
Yeah. So like in high school, I went to 3 different high schools. So I went to 2 high schools in Augusta. I'm from Burke County. I live in Burke County in Waynesboro. That's where my family is and where we live. But I went to 2 high schools in Augusta. I went to A.R. Johnson and I went to West Side. And then when COVID hit, I transferred back to Burke County and ended up graduating from Burke County. But all throughout high school, and it's a family name, but it kind of transferred into like my social life. They call me Lana Bug or Lana Bug or Light Bright or whatever. So everybody at high school, especially when I was at A.R. Johnson, everybody would call me Bug. They'd be like, "Hey Bug. Hey Bug." And like some people even now, they still call me that, or that's just how they see me, or they call me Lana Bug or whatever. So it's like people, like my close friends, they do call me that. Like they just call me Lana or they call me Bug or, that sort of thing, or a nickname or like something personal. So yeah.
Okay. All right. And I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
Because when you have young people coming into ministry, you will be amazed as the lives that you're going to impact. There are lives that you're going to touch that I won't touch, your father won't touch, Pastor Goodman won't touch, but you'll be able to touch them.
Yeah.
Because one of the things, one of the people I always admire, the late Joe Madison, he said, you got to put it where the ghost can get it.
Yeah, that's good.
And a lot of
That's
times,
good.
as we get older, we're on a different place.
Yeah.
But you've got to figure out, okay, how do I put it where young people, and if you're not in tune to the lingo,
Yeah.
see, you can
It'll
use
go
that.
over our heads.
There are some things that you know about, some terms that you know that you can incorporate in your message. Young
Right.
folks say, oh yeah, I'm getting it.
Like, oh, I get that. I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the older folks be like,
Now that done went over my head.
what is that?
Right.
So I have a tendency when I'm preaching or teaching or whatever they call it, I tell them, I say, hey, I'm just a messenger.
Yeah. Just a
But
vessel.
what
Yeah.
I try to do is especially I try to look at it through their lens.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm using a word that I know that I didn't know at that age,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to, explain it. Okay, this is what it means. This
Right.
is how it's being used here.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people say, okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Especially some of the older members. I hadn't looked at it from that perspective. But you will have that ability
Yeah.
to break it to the point where younger people, and that's what I think that's part of the issue that we have in society, is that we have parents who are not church,
Yeah.
as we were saying earlier, but you bring in these young people along, and you're not requiring them because now you're a PK.
Yeah.
Right?
Tried and true.
I tell people, see, you had a drug problem because your parents drugged you to church.
Right. I didn't have no choice.
I wasn't a PK, but I have a drug problem too.
Right.
My mom drugged us
me to church. Yes.
She made sure that we went to church
Yeah.
at
It's
all
a
times.
priority.
And sometimes we'll start out early that morning and get back to around 6 or 7 at night.
Yep.
That was the routine.
Yeah.
Now kids, parents ask them,
You coming to church?
you want to go to church today?
You still in bed?
Well, here's the thing that even when I was in the military, and I got brothers that was in the military, got brothers and sisters that was in college, we knew when we came home
Yeah.
that you were going to
Going
church.
to church. Yeah.
Ain't no such thing as I didn't bring no church.
That's the
clothes.
standard.
That's
That's the standard.
And but that was really embedded in the black community.
Yeah.
You go to church, even if you went out and got drunk and I know a lot of people, go against it.
Yeah.
But even if you went out and got drunk Saturday night,
You knew.
Sunday morning you going to church.
Right. You might be in the back row slumped over,
Your head, look here, the drummer's getting it,
Right.
and your head's pounding. But
Listen, you was in church.
you was in church.
You was in church.
I
Yeah.
tell people, you'll be surprised what you learn just by being present.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's, because our kids learn how to act in church just by being there.
You learn just by observation, just by being in the room, just by that even just goes back to what I was saying. That's how I learned I guess a level of kind of social order, leadership. That's how I learned observation. That's how I learned those things. It's like, well, it didn't take me being a minister. It didn't take me going through ministry training to know that I need to let my spiritual covering know where I need. It didn't take that. It was me, and I literally in thinking. I've been thinking more and having a conversation with some of my mentors just about where I am now and being like a couple months into serving and into ministry. The Black church in general, like, is a literary third space. The church is a third space, and that being, it's not home, it's not school, but it's another space. It's a third space. It is where young people, where I learned, I can speak to my personal experience, where I found my voice. I found confidence. I found creativity, storytelling. Everything that I am is because of this space. It's because of my pastors. It's because of children's church. It's because of Sunday school. It's because of not having an option to go. Those sorts of things. And it made me who I am. It made my life more enhanced and more valuable. So it's like, if we, and I'm not saying I guess it's more of the question of what good is it doing if we don't set a standard?
Yeah, you have to set a standard, but you said something that I'm reminded of when we were coming up. The church was the space where you develop confidence.
Yes.
You do
Public speaking.
You do your Easter speech. You do all of these little things, and it seems like we've kind of gotten away from that to a degree. And it's like singing. That's where you learn that, hey, I can actually do this.
Yeah. That's where I learned it.
I'm pretty good at this thing.
Yeah.
And that's where you develop childhood friendships.
Yes.
Where you're able to just take it and roll with it. And that's what I tell people, church is that space, like you say, it's that space where it's not home, it's not school, it's not work.
Yeah, it's a third
It's that
space,
space where you can really, come and just develop.
Yeah.
I'm going to, I see our director, he's kind of letting us know.
Listen, you got two preachers talking. We can talk all day.
I'm definitely going to have you back sometime.
Yes,
because
I'd love to.
I want to kind of touch on some things that, some of the experiences that you have with young people. Because I learn from young people. Okay, because I've had some of my young people, believe it or not, I've said something from the pulpit, didn't know nothing about their life. I've said something that they were offended by. But once I found out, I was able to share with them that these are the things that God said you are to guard yourself against. They were offended because they were doing it. I said, the word is telling us this is what you're supposed to be guarding yourself against because it's going to do you harm. And they was like, so they eventually started coming back. They was like young adults.
Yeah.
But and the way I got the word was through some of the family members. Oh, they upset with you because you said something.
You stepped on, Pastor stepped on my toes.
I said, understand something. I'm just a mailman.
Yeah. Just the deliverer.
I don't.
Just the mouthpiece.
I don't write the letter. I don't open the letter.
Yeah.
I'm just a mailman.
Yeah. But we learn from you guys as well, from our pastors, from the older generation, from our aunties, uncles, papas, all the people. So it's a symbiotic relationship. It's a give and get both ways. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, look here. We're gonna cut this conversation right here, but we will definitely talk again. I tell you, I'm bubbling.
Listen,
I'm
I love
bubbling.
it. I'm excited. I love this conversation.
I look at it. I said, look at God. He just keep replenishing.
Yeah.
Because as I began to look at my life in ministry, as it begins to, I said, okay, God, I don't want to die in the pulpit. I need a young minister that is electrifying. That first of all love you.
Yeah.
And that's
as a disciple.
And we'll talk about that the next segment.
Yeah.
About the love that you need when you go into ministry.
Yes.
All right. So next time you see us together, we'll be digging a little deeper. I want to give a quick shout out to Brother Brendan Mills,
Yes. Shout
who
out to
was
Brendan.
the orchestrator of this particular segment, and
That's one of my church babies.
He's the hand behind the scenes.
Yes.
So thank you very much, and
Thank you.
we will look forward to seeing you again.
Yes. See y'all next time.